International Airport this afternoon by the first Vice President, Dr. Riek Machar, and a number of national ministers and advisors. In a statement to SSBC, the press secretary in the office of the President, Lily Adio Martin Menil, says President Kiir is a candidate to chair the East African Community, a step she described as historic and an indication for South Sudan's commitment to deepening regional integration. Adio Martin further added that the summit will discuss issues of climate change and food security in the region.
His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit has this morning traveled to attend the ordinary summit of the East African Community Head of States and Government in Arusha, Tanzania. The main purpose of this trip is not only to participate in the summit, but for His Excellency the President to take chairmanship of the community from his counterpart, the Burundian President. This is a historic achievement for the people and the government of South Sudan to lead the community, achieving regional peace, security, and economic integration. For the first time since joining the East Africa in August 2016, President Kiir's one-year tenure will give South Sudan great opportunity to advocate for policies that promote equal and effective regional integration and cooperation. As the chairperson for the East African Community, President Kiir will focus on enhancing customs, cross-border trade, normalization, mitigation of climate change, crisis management, emergency disaster response, as well as enhancing permanent regional peace in the region.
President Kiir has arrived in Arusha, Tanzania, together with his accompanying delegation ahead of tomorrow's East African Community Summit. The President and his accompanying delegation was received in Tanzania by the Minister of Constitutional and Legal Affairs, Dr. Pindi Chana. President Kiir is expected to take over the chairmanship of the EAC from his Burundian counterpart, Evariste Ndayishimiye, whose tenure has come to an end. The theme of the 23rd Ordinary Summit is accelerating economic recovery through climate action and enhancing food security for improved livelihoods. South Sudan officially joined East African Community on 16th April 2016, and it will be the first time President Kiir will assume chairmanship, where he is expected to focus on enhancing customs and cross-border trade normalization, mitigation of climate change crisis, emergency disaster response, as well as ensuring permanent peace in the region. In Arusha, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of East African Community Affairs, Gideon, says President Kiir is expected to take over the chairmanship of the East African Community Heads of State Summit. President Kiir replaced Burundi's President Evariste Ndayishimiye, whose one-year tenure came to an end mid this year. Gideon says South Sudan, as a member of the regional bloc, is ready to take charge of the region.
climate change, which will bring the whole BC to encompass all the citizens. And tomorrow, the main session, tomorrow program will begin with plenary by the State Government. Thereafter, move to closed session where there will be discussion on topics for discussion of affairs, and also where the change view to the affairs represented where is the and so process, and we'll move now back to the main premise, and thereafter to share the session
Gender and Youth Cluster, chaired by Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng Dimabio, discussed the importance of NGO Act. The Act provides establishment of the legal framework for the registration, coordination, and monitoring operations of non-governmental organizations in the country. The Minister of Gender, Child, and Social Welfare, Aya Benjamin Warilia, says Vice President Rebecca briefed the cluster on her engagement with different stakeholders in order to align the government policies with non-governmental organizations.
We had a meeting of the Gender and Youth Cluster. You can see the agenda. One of it is the introduction of the new minister, the Honorable Dr. Joseph Keng Akej, who is our new national minister for youth and sports. We had an opportunity to listen to his introduction, and then we also introduced ourselves to him. So on the second item, which is on the NGO Act, the chairperson briefed us on the importance of the Act and her engagement with the different stakeholders in order to align the policies of the government with the NGOs.
A fact-finding committee for renaming of Clement Mboro Bridge, headed by the Deputy Speaker of Transitional National Legislative Assembly, Cornelio Kangor, met with state legislators, civil society organizations, and members of executive to brainstorm on peaceful solution to the issue. Speaking after the meeting attended by Governor Sarah Potato Hassan, the State Minister of Cabinet Affairs, and member of the committee, Akengelo Anyakanya, stresses the necessity of following the recommendations that will contribute to peaceful solution to the matter. The representative of the State Legislative Assembly, Haj Allah Simon, says it is important to improve, rather involve communities in the dialogue. The representative of civil society, Joseph Laku, appreciated the role of the transitional national government towards addressing social issues and stabilizing security in the country. Let's go for a short break and we shall be right back. Stay tuned for more stories coming up.
The Upper Regional State and Administrative Areas High-Level Committee for endorsement of SPLM Chairman under the leadership of Comrade Dr. Joseph Manfili Witan recognizes the endorsement rally of Comrade General Salva Kiir Mayardit as SPLM flag bearer and presidential candidate in forthcoming general election 2024. In Malakal Town, December 2023 under the theme Reigniting the SPLM in Greater Upper Region to endorse President Salva Kiir Mayardit for general election 2024.
It is my humble request to the great people of Upper region to reconcile and come together as the people of one region and as the people of the great South Sudan. Let us forge a new page of love, page of reconciliation, and page of belonging to that great region of Upper Nile. And I therefore call upon all of you, the people of Upper Nile region, to turn out in Malakal town for the reception and welcoming of our chairman of the SPLM and the President of the Republic, Comrade General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the champion of our independence and peacemaker in our country.
All communities of Greater Upper Region are invited to welcome the champion of peace and symbol of unity to Malakal town, His Excellency General President Salva Kiir Mayardit.
Welcome back from that short break. To proceed, the consultative meeting between the Sudan Peace Mediation Committee and the Forces of Freedom and Change concluded in Juba on Thursday with a call on the warring parties to end the conflict and embrace peace. The meeting came up with a number of resolutions and recommendations, including political solutions to the conflict. All the stakeholders in Sudan should be consulted on how the war should be resolved, embracing the unity of the entire Sudanese, practice of democratic governance system, formation of one national army, and addressing economic challenges. The head of the Secretariat of the Mediation Committee, who is also the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ramadan Abdallah Got, read out the statement. African Regional Tourism Expo concluded in Nairobi with strong commitment to strengthen the unity of the region and create an enabling environment for tourism and investment. Martin Justin reports from Nairobi.
The seven East African countries have renewed their commitment to develop the tourism sector and make it more attractive than before. During the closing remarks, the Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism, Zakaria Hassana, urged the East African community to stand up to confront the crisis of misinformation and distorting the reputation of the region and the continent in general.
This forum offers a massive platform for interactions, learning lessons, and to answer questions. I think we should observe the reality to develop a great African-owned democracy. In conclusion, the country has much to offer to the world of tourism with rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and the most vibrant culture. We are a true game player in the global tourism industry. Come to South Sudan and see the wonders of the land of great abundance.
For his part, the Kenyan Minister of Tourism and Wildlife, Dr. Alfred Mutua, called for free visas to be applied to encourage African tourism.
We have been fast identifying and mapping our tourist attraction sites
agencies are here. The customers are coming from Germany and others, but there's a lot of money in this continent of Africa. The representative of the Kenya Tourism Board praised the strength of the regional expo in demonstrating the ability of the region and encouraging interfaith exchange.
It has been a great opportunity for us to make our tourism as a region, and I'm very glad to note that over the last 3 days, we have had great business engagements, and we hope as a region to reap from this in the coming few months.
With the call for authors of unity and joint action to market the region, the third edition of the East African Regional Tourism Expo was concluded. The next Expo of 2024 will be hosted by Uganda, and South Sudan will host the 2025. Martin Justin Paul Kose, SMBC, Kenya.
The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ramadan Mohamed Abdallah Goch, briefed the Sudanese Deputy Head of Mission in Juba, Jamal Abdel Majid, on the two-day consultative meeting between the Sudanese Forces for Freedom and Change Coalition. The meeting is aimed at finding a solution to the Sudanese crisis. Speaking to SSBC, Abdel Majid says the meeting is in line with the neighboring countries' initiative that proposed bringing all the Sudanese political parties together to listen to their views. The acting director for Sudan Affairs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mayura Ngong Panther, explains the outcome of the meeting.
And the point of this discussion today is about the launching of action plan for the neighboring countries on how to address the conflict in Sudan in terms of political engagement, in terms of humanitarian issues, and then the reason of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the country at large on how to engage Sudanese parties and to achieve peace agreement. This meeting was very helpful to us as the government of Sudan. These meetings took place based on the commitment of President Salva Kiir when he made the two parties agreement last month that is going to have all the political factions to meet in Juba in the light of the outcomes of the neighboring countries. Initiative, which they agreed to have an action plan that they can engage also the politicians to listen to their views and to also discuss with them the way forward to have peace in Sudan.
The National Election Commission says efforts are being made to ensure elections are held as per scheduled. This came on Thursday when the Commission's chairperson, Abednego Akok, met with the Director General of Media Authority, Elijah Alier, where they discussed the role of media in pre-electoral activities.
We discussed with them two important areas: the cooperation of the Commission with the authority and the plan for media activities in the future in the coming period. We have three important issues we have planned. One of them is the pre-election activities, which should be done before we could enter into other plans. Second, the budget for the election. Three, the election timeline, which is very important. Time is running out and we are following it every day. As media authority, we are looking forward at the areas of coordination and cooperation with the National Election Commission to ensure there is free and fair space for civic education and freedom of expression should be promoted as required. The very important part of it is that we are running out of time. We have been assured by the National Election Commission that all the electoral frameworks they are in place as of today, but preparation are behind the schedule.
Bishops' Conference of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan concluded in Juba on Thursday. In his closing remarks, Archbishop Dr. Justin Baji Arama urges older groups to find common ground to proceed with the peace
Dr. Justin Badi Arama congratulates the revitalized transitional government of national unity upon reconstituting the political parties council, the constitution review commission, and the electoral commission. Dr. Badi Arama exhorts the government to move swiftly in the preparations for the election in December 2024.
And concerning the political parties council, urge the government to urgently swear in the members of the Constitutional Review Commission and the Electoral Commission to start their work, given the fact that the remaining time for elections is too short.
The Anglican Primates appeals to the national government to improve security in all parts of the country to create an environment conducive to hold free, fair, and credible elections. Archbishop Badi Arama pleads with the government and the armed opposition groups to compromise and resume the Rome peace talks mediated by San Egidio. He says the bishop's house raises a great concern over persistent conflicts between the Abiy, Mokdinga, and Twitch communities in Warabi State.
Concerned by the continuing violence in Abyei and request the President of the Republic to use his powers to help the conflicting communities to peacefully coexist as before.
The House of Bishops meeting declares the readiness of the church in engaging in civic education. Speaking on behalf of the House, Dr. Badi Arama petitioned community leaders and politicians to distance themselves from interfering in church affairs. He asked all the faithful to continue praying for the peace, the return of South Sudanese refugees from neighboring countries, and humanitarian support for returnees and refugees in the country.
Urge the bishops and clergy of the province of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan to engage the citizens in promoting non-violence before, during, and after elections. Strongly condemn the attack on bishops in Bor and the burning of the bishop's car on Morbokaya Road and the closure of the Church of St. Peter at Lambert, and we request for the reopening of that church.
The bishops acknowledged the Primate Dr. Justin Badi Arama for his able leadership and for peaceful development taking place in the province of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan. Reporting for South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, I am Dr. Pinjal Juba.
Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we will be looking at a media stakeholders forum. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break. I'm Maud Ponan, and to proceed with the news bulletin, a media stakeholders forum organized by the Association for Media Development in South Sudan has recommended continuous platforms to discuss ethical dilemma for journalists in the country. The forum also discussed harmonization of salaries for journalists working in media stations. Our reporter, Isaac Lodro, was in attendance.
The objective of the two-day forum was to address issues of civic space and the conducive media environment as the country gears towards election in 2024. Speaking to the media at the end of the two-day forum, the managing director of South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, James McGoffin, said the workshop has helped in addressing various challenges like independency and the protection of media in South Sudan.
What we have learned is that coming together and share challenges and see the importance of media, protection of media, and practitioners to be guided by ethics of journalism and profession is the main
State and government. Today, we are starting the summit by a high-level forum on environment and climate change, which will bring together all the ESA, Hirobu State and government, all their representatives. And tomorrow is the main session. The tomorrow program will begin with open plenary by the Hirobu State and government, and thereafter move into the closed session where the real discussion on topics for discussion will occur, and also where the change of bureau will occur, where President Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, where he will take over the leadership of the East African Community. And from the closed session, then we will move now back to the main plenary, and thereafter President Salva Kiir will chair the session of the 23rd Ordinary Assembly.
أكدت نائب رئيس الجمهورية لقطاع النوع والشباب ريبيكا نياندين جيرينغ دي مابيور أهمية قانون المنظمات غير الحكومية، حيث يتيح القانون تأسيس ووضع لائحة قانونية لتسجيل وتنسيق ومراقبة أنشطة المنظمات غير الحكومية في البلاد. وقالت أياوا ريلي وزير النوع والطفل والرعاية الاجتماعية أن نائب رئيس الجمهورية لقطاع النوع والشباب قدمت تنويرا للقطاع حول أنشطتها مع أصحاب المصلحة لملائمة سياسة الحكومة مع المنظمات غير الحكومية العاملة في البلاد.
We had the meeting of the gender and youth cluster. Items on the agenda. One of it is the introduction of the new minister, Dr. Joseph Geng Akej, who is our new national minister for youth and sports. We had an opportunity to listen to his introduction, and then we also introduced ourselves to him. So on the second item, which is on the NGO Act, the chairperson briefed us on the importance of the act and her engagement with the different stakeholders in order to align the policies of the government and the NGOs.
عقدت لجنة تقصي حقائق تسمية كوبري كلمنبورو برئاسة كورنيليو كونغور لقاءات تشاورية مع ممثلي الجهاز التشريعي والتنفيذي وتنظيمات المجتمع المدني في ولاية غرب بحر الغزال بحضور حاكم الولاية سارة كليتوريال. وفي تصريح عقب اللقاءات التشاورية أكد عضو اللجنة ووزير شؤون مجلس الوزراء أركانجيلو أنيرانير ضرورة الاهتمام بالتوصيات التي تسهم في الحل السلمي لقضية تسمية كوبري كلمنبورو. ومن جانبه أكد الناطق الرسمي باسم البرلمان الولايي هاقلا سايمون أهمية توسيع دائرة الحوار بين المجتمعات. إلى ذلك أشاد ممثل المجتمع المدني بواو جوزيف لوكا باهتمام حكومة الوحدة الوطنية بشأن الاجتماعي والاستقرار الأمني بالولاية.
جينا الليلة في مجلس التشريع لولاية غرب بحر الغزال ويستقبلنا السيد رئيس المجلس بالإنابة الأونربل لويس باسكول إليو، واجتمعنا مع انخاد المجلس برئاسة بتاع ديبتي سبيكر. عموما نحن في خلاصة دايرين نقول للمجتمع المدني كل التوصيات والمنازل بتاعكم عن نقولة الاعتبار، وإن شاء الله ولاية بتاع غرب بحر الغزال هيكون مستقر. وتوصياتكم الكبيرة إنه في كل منشأ ينشأ من بعد لابد نكون اعتبار في إننا مطالبين كمجلس، مطالبين مؤتمر جامع يلم كل ثلاثة السيادة الموجودة داخل الولاية. ده إنه مطالبين بهذا الصدد لأنه بكون عندنا مطالب كبرى ومسألة بتاعت مقاطعة واو ده كلها إننا هندرجه في حاجة واحد وتمشي بصورة جميلة جدا.
الخطوة الحسنة اللي ده خطوة مهمة جدا، نتمنى نتواصل الحكومة مع الشعب يكون واحد ونسير للأمام، ونتمنى جنوب السودان ومسكة خاصة ولاية غرب الغزال ينعم بالسلام.
المشاهدون على فاصل قصير ثم نواصل نشرة الأخبار.
Greater Upper Nile Region States and Administrative Areas High-Level Committee for Endorsement of SPLM Chairman under the leadership of Comrade Dr. Joseph Manchwil Wijang organizes the endorsement rally of Comrade General Salva Kiir Mayardit as SPLM flag bearer and presidential candidate in forthcoming general election 2024 in Malakal town on the first week of December 2023 under the theme Reigniting SPLM in Greater Upper Nile Region to endorse President Salva Kiir Mayardit for general election 2024.
It is my humble request to the great people of Upper Nile region to reconcile and come together as the people of one region and as the people of the great South Sudan. Let us forge a new page of love, page of reconciliation, and page of belonging to that great region of Upper Nile. And I therefore call upon all of you, the people of Upper Nile region, to turn out in Malakal town for the reception and welcoming of our chairman of the SPLM and the President of the Republic, Comrade General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the champion of our independence and peacemaker in our country.
All communities of Greater Upper Nile region are invited to welcome the champion of peace and symbol of unity to Malakal town, His Excellency General President Salva Kiir Mayardit.
أهلا بكم مجددا. اختتم نهار اليوم بجوبا عمل الاجتماع التشاوري لقوى الحرية والتغيير السودانية التي ترعاه لجنة الوساطة من جنوب السودان، حيث أقر المجتمعون على أهمية مناشدة الأطراف المتحاربة الاحتكام لصوت العقل من أجل إنهاء الحرب ووضع حد لمعاناة المواطن السوداني. المزيد في التوصيات التي تلاه السيد رمضان محمد عبد الله جوج نائب وزير الخارجية والتعاون الدولي عضو لجنة الوساطة في عملية سلام السودان.
السودان إلى أجزاء هذا، وسيوجه الرئيس سلفا كير مياردت دعوة لتنسيقية القوى الديمقراطية المدنية المعروفة بتقدم والأطراف السودانية الأخرى الداعية لإيقاف هذه الحرب اللعينة ولاستدامة السلام والاستقرار في السودان، للحضور إلى جوبا للاستماع لوجهة نظرهم حول إنهاء الحرب وسبل تحقيق السلام في السودان. وفي خاتمة هذا اللقاء تم التأكيد على عدد من هذه القضايا، من بينها ضرورة الحفاظ على وحدة السودان وسيادته على أرضه وموارده، ورفض لكل ما يؤدي إلى تمزيق السودان وإطالة الأمد الحرب وتحويل إلى حرب مجتمعية. فيما يلي العملية السياسية تم التأكيد على أن العملية السياسية هي العملية التي يفترض أن تنهي الحرب في السودان وتؤسس لنظام حكم مدني وديمقراطي، على أن يتم الاتفاق على أطراف هذه العملية وأجندة هذه العملية ومواعيد قيامها لاحقا. السعي لتطوير العلاقات المشتركة والوصول إلى رؤية شاملة لوقف وإنهاء الحرب في السودان تم الاتفاق عليه أيضا. كذلك تم اتفاق أن يستمر رئيس جمهورية جنوب السودان في الاستماع لرؤى الأطراف السودانية الأخرى حول كيفية حل هذه الأزمة السياسية التي ظل يواجهها السودان الشقيق.
قال وزير مجلس الوزراء دكتور مارتن إليا لومورو أن الحكومة تعمل بخطة ثابتة نحو قيام الانتخابات العامة في 2024. جاء ذلك خلال لقائه السفير البريطاني لدى البلاد السفير جي وارينغتون، الذي جدد التزام الحكومة البريطانية بدعم قيام الانتخابات. إقليم شرق أفريقيا السياحي وسط نداءات بضرورة دعم وحدة الإقليم وإنشاء بيئة مواتية للسياحة والاستثمار. المزيد في تقرير الزميل مارتن جاستين.
جددت دول إقليم شرق إفريقيا التزامهم على تطوير قطاع السياحة وجعلها أكثر جاذبية مما مضى. وخلال فعاليات الختام حث وزير حماية الحياة البرية والسياحة رزق زكريا حسن مجتمع شرق إفريقيا للوقوف وقفة رجل واحد لمواجهة أزمة التضليل وتشويش سمعة الإقليم والقارة بصورة عامة.
This forum have offered us a massive platform for interactions, learning lessons, and to answer questions. I think we should observe the reality to develop a better African-owned democracy. In conclusion, my country has much to offer to the world of tourism with rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and the most vibrant culture. We are a true game player in the global tourism industry. Come to South Sudan and see the wonders of the land of great abundance.
من ناحيته طالب وزير السياحة بدولة كينيا دكتور ألفريد متوى بضرورة تطبيق التأشيرة المجانية لتشجيع السياحة الإفريقية.
We need to go from here by first identifying and mapping our tourist attraction sites across the region. We need to have a tourism circuit that is regional, not just localized. Number two, we really have to invest in tourism infrastructure. The other point is about comprehensive marketing campaigns. The next issue is about visa. We really have to go free visa for all African countries, for all of us. Let us stop fearing each other. We need to look at the African market. You know, we are so busy trying to get the Europeans, the Americans. Our tour agencies are here. Their customers are coming from Germany and others, but there's a lot of money in this continent of Africa.
إلى ذلك أشاد ممثل مجلس السياحة الكينية بقوة المعرض في إظهار قدرة الإقليم وتشجيع التبادل التجاري.
It has been a great opportunity for us to make our tourism as a region, and I'm very glad to note that over the last 3 days we have had great business engagements, and we hope as a region to reap from this in the coming few months.
الإيمان بقوة الإقليم السياحي والعمل الجماعي لإظهار القارة والإقليم على وجه الخصوص كان من أبرز مخرجات النسخة الثالثة من المعرض الإقليمي لمجتمع شرق إفريقيا الخاصة بالسياحة. مارتن جاستين باول كوسي، SSBC، نيروبي، كينيا.
قدم نائب وزير الخارجية والتعاون الدولي رمضان محمد عبد الله جوج شرحا ضافيا لنائب رئيس بعثة السودان بجوبا جمال عبد المجيد حول مخرجات الاجتماع التشاوري بين تحالف قوة الحرية والتغيير السودانية يوم الثلاثاء التي استغرقت يومين، ويهدف الاجتماع إلى إيجاد حل للأزمة السودانية. وأكد جمال عبد المجيد أهمية الاجتماع للحكومة السودانية، مضيفا أن الاجتماع جاء ضمن مبادرة دول الجوار للسودان التي اقترحت ضرورة جلوس الأحزاب السياسية السودانية والاستماع إلى آرائهم حول الأزمة السودانية.
And the point of this discussion is about the launching of action plan for the neighboring countries on how to address the conflict in Sudan in terms of political engagement, in terms of humanitarian issues, and then the recent move of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the country at large on how to engage Sudanese parties and to achieve peace agreement.
This meeting was very helpful to us as the government of Sudan. These meetings took place based on the commitment of President Salva Kiir when he made the Juba parties agreement last month that he's going to have all the political factions to meet in Juba in the line of the outcomes of the neighboring countries initiative, which they agreed to have an action plan that they can engage also the politicians to listen to their views and to also discuss with them the way forward to have peace in Sudan.
أعربت مفوضية الانتخابات القومية عن مخاوفها بإشان الجدول الزمني للانتخابات، قائلة أن الوقت والاستعدادات متأخرة عن الجدول الزمني. جاء ذلك في لقاء بنديغو أكوك رئيس مفوضية الانتخابات القومية مع المدير الإداري لسلطة الإعلام إليجا اليار حول أنشطته ما قبل الانتخابات، خاصة دور الإعلام. وأكد بنديغو أكوك جاهزية الجانب القانوني للانتخابات العام 2024، إلا أن ميزانية تنفيذ الانتخابات لا تزال مسألة أمام سلطة المفوضية. وشدد إليجا اليار المدير الإداري لسلطة الإعلام ضرورة أن تضع مفوضية الانتخابات في الاعتبار تنظيم انتخابات حرة ونزيهة تتمتع بساحة مدنية وتثقيفية.
We discussed with him two important areas: the cooperation of the Commission with the authority and the plan for media activities in the future, in the coming period. We have three important issues which we have planned. One of them is the pre-election activities, which should be done before we could enter into other plans. Second, the budget for the election. Three, the election timeline, which is very important. Time is running out and we are following it every day. So we want to alert all of us, ourselves, to come up and see that time should be properly managed.
It is a constitutional duty of the government to ensure the public get information that is impartial and accurate. And it is a constitutional right for every citizen to exercise their right in this important democratic process. As media authority, we are looking forward at the areas of coordination and cooperation with the National Election Commission to ensure there is free and fair space for civic education and freedom of expression should be promoted as required. The very important part of it is that we are running out of time. We have been assured by the National Election Commission that all the legal frameworks, they are in place as of today, but preparations are behind the schedule. So this is the area we are coming together to have plan together how we can be able to provide guidelines as media authority to guide the media paternity when issues of election are almost approaching. So basically, in this situation, we are ready as a media authority to support the media and to ensure there is conducive media regulatory environment that exists within this democratic.
دعا رئيس أساقفة الكنيسة الإسقفية بجنوب السودان دكتور جاستن بادي أراما قيادة المجتمع والسياسيين بإبعاد أنفسهم من التدخل في شؤون الكنيسة، مطالبا جميع المؤمنين بمواصلة الصلاة من أجل السلام وعودة لاجئي جنوب السودان من دول المجاورة وتقديم الدعم الإنساني للعائدين واللاجئين في البلاد. جاء ذلك في ختام اجتماع المطارنة 63 الذين يمثلون 61 أبرشية للكنيسة الإسقفية الإنجليكانية بجوبا. المشاهدون الأفاضل، فاصل قصير ثم نواصل نشرة الأخبار. أوصى ملتقى أصحاب المصلحة الذي نظمته رابطة تطوير الإعلام بجنوب السودان للبرامج الدورية لمناقشة المعدلة الأخلاقية للصحفيين في البلاد الذي استغرق يومين بجوبا، ومن بين التوصيات المقترحة تحسين رواتب الصحفيين في مختلف أورقة الأجهزة الإعلامية. المزيد في تقرير الزميل أيزاك لودورو إيمانويل بصوت الزميل عادل عبد الوهاب.
يهدف المنبر الذي استغرق يومين إلى معالجة قضايا المساحة المدنية وتوفير البيئة الإعلامية مع اقتراب البلاد من الانتخابات في العام 2024. ولدى مخاطبته فاتحة أعمال المنبر الإعلامي قال جيمس ماغوك شيلين المدير الإداري لهيئة جنوب السودان للبث إن الورشة ساعدت في معالجة العديد من التحديات والمتمثلة في الاستقلالية وحماية الإعلام في جنوب السودان.
So what we have learned is that coming together and share challenges and see the importance of media, protection of media and practitioners to be guided by ethics of journalism and profession is the main thing that bringing us together, and working together with other stakeholders will be the only way forward to cover the election free and fair.
ودعا كوانغ فال تشانغ رئيس رابطة تطوير الإعلام بجنوب السودان الصحفيين الالتزام بالأخلاق المهنية في كتابة تقارير دقيقة خلال الانتخابات القادمة.
It is important that journalists uphold or adhere to media ethics, and those media ethics is to make sure that you tell the truth, you practice accountability, you are transparent, and you are fair, you are independent, and all those things. When we are independent, we will not have side.
وقالت آيا عاريني مدير رابطة تطوير الإعلام بجنوب السودان إن الهدف من الورشة الخروج بتوصيات مهمة والتي تضع شكلا لصناعة الإعلام.
They came together to discuss issues that are affecting the media development in South Sudan, and key recommendation that came from the discussion, one of them is for AMDIS to organize another forum with journalists to discuss ethical dilemmas, because during the discussion a lot of issues came about ethical dilemmas, things to do with journalists' payment, like how journalists are being paid, the payment is low, and then sometimes making journalists to accept bribe outside.
وأوضح رود جورج أحد المشاركين ما تلقاه خلال المنبر الإعلامي الذي استغرق يومين.
We have been able to talk honestly to one another in order to find out what are the areas of obstacles and areas where we can work together. We are also very grateful for all the panelists because they have spoken from the bottom of their hearts, telling about the ways on how we can overcome challenges.
هذا وشارك في المنبر الإعلام وممثل.
اختتمت وزارة الموارد المائية والري بالتعاون مع وزارة الشؤون الإنسانية ودرع الكوارث بدعم من الصليب الأحمر بجنوب السودان والصليب الأحمر الهولندي وشركاء آخرين أمس الأربعاء في جوبا ورشة عمل استمرت 3 أيام حول المياه في مبادرة قلب
15-20-30. وقال وكيل وزارة الموارد المائية والري بيتر ديو إن الحكومة لديها بالفعل وثيقة معدة لمعالجة المخاطر التي قد تواجه الناس في البلاد.
We have to help to provide safely managed sanitation, which I believe most of you know that the open defecation that is hazardous because it is polluting the environment. We have already a document to talk about our situation, our preparation or preparedness towards the risk and hazard and disaster that could come into our life because of rains that are sporadic and they come in a very hazardous way, or they are absent, like in our cases of Eastern Equatoria, like Kafoita, that do not have water.
وجدد ويليام تشان أتشويل وكيل وزارة الشؤون الإنسانية التزام الوزارتين بدعم الشركاء في تحقيق المشاريع.
The intention of this workshop was to accelerate in support of national capacities that are built around 4 pillars of the disaster management cycle. I wanted to inform you that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs is going to work jointly with the Ministry of Water, Resource and Irrigation to support our partners in implementation of this project.
وقالت ستيفانيا غويديني رئيسة قسم المياه في الصليب الأحمر الهولندي إن الصليب الأحمر الهولندي ملتزم تماما بدعم شعب جنوب السودان.
We realize this could be a collective dream. We were not dreaming alone. We are dreaming together. So from Netherlands Red Cross, we are fully committed to support South Sudan in appreciating this dream and in executing the dream.
أدت أزمة المناخ الحالية إلى تفاقم أزمة المياه بشكل كبير وزيادة المخاطر المرتبطة بالطقس والمياه على وجه المعمورة.
عقدت السيدة جوزفين لاغو وزيرة الزراعة والأمن الغذائي بمكتبها نهار اليوم اجتماعا مع السيد كين فوجي المنسق العام لمجموعة تنمية زراعة الأرز بأفريقيا. وتأتي الاجتماع في أعقاب مشاركة السيدة الوزيرة في قمة أقيمت بالعاصمة ساحل العاج أبيجان. الجدير بالذكر أن مجموعة تنمية زراعة الأرز هذا تعمل من أجل تطوير زراعة الأرز في أكثر من 32 دولة أفريقية.
This visit is being made in pursuance to a letter of intent written by Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Republic of South Sudan, that was handed to the 9th General Meeting of Coalition for African Rice Development, meeting held in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. The General Coordinator expressed interest in visiting Republic of South Sudan to see for himself firsthand how rice is being produced in the Republic of South Sudan. So basically his visit is a follow-up to that letter of intent which was handed in Abidjan.
So CARD is a network of 32 African countries which produce rice. So we are working together to double the production of rice.
تفقد حاكم ولاية الاستواء الوسطى إيمانويل عادل أنتوني سير عملية فتح الشوارع الداخلية، حيث تعتبر المبادرة جزءا من خطة حكومة الولاية في تقديم الخدمات للمواطنين. وثمن الحاكم جهود مواطني المنطقة في التعاون مع السلطات. وقال وزير الإسكان والأراضي والمرافق العامة ألفريد لاكو أن عملية فتح الشوارع تعتبر مواصلة لتعزيز الحركة في الأحياء السكنية في الولاية.
كمان موقعين باللجان الهلة وكوميتي تا هاوسينج سوكول علومو نعملو تحت هناك. سوكول ده لسه كورة قدام. أنا كمان ده رئاسة لباقي ناس في حياة تانين في اريا تانين. إذا كلكم مع برنامج ده أنتم عارفوا إنه حكومة عندي صعوبات كتير. فأنتم كان جيتوا أنتم نظمتوا نفوسهم وأنتم جبتوا كبر لنا كوزارة هاوسينج إنه عندنا دير كرجة فتاة سارة في كيريا بتاعنا في المحلات بتاعنا عندنا دائما جاهزين.
وقع كل من مجتمع أغوك وكوتش بولاية وراب على وثيقة تقضي بالسلام والمصالحة بينهما، وتأتي الخطوة استجابة لنداء الرئيس كير طرفي النزاع منع الاختتال بينهما. وطلب حاكم ولاية وراب منيمبول أن زعماء المجتمعين لاحتواء المتقاتلين الذين يتسببون في خلق القلاقل، مؤكدا أن إدارته على محاسبة كل من يزوي تورطه في إثارة النزاعات.
I am so honored and excited to hear today that Agwok and Kwai communities have reconciled. As I said earlier in Machiel to the high-level delegation delegated by the President that they are here representing him, and again today have achieved the goal of reconciling the two communities, Agwok and Kwai. This will give our President a peace of mind. To our brothers in Apuk, please let's take advantage to reconcile among ourselves. For example, we ran from the recent meeting in Machiel. Let's accept peace, my people. The reason of dialogue is to make people have peace and live together, so that one can speak from their heart and expose what needs to be addressed.
من الركام والنجبان دنوي كان بن أشينا على development project تكام.
وفي الخبر الأخير أكدت ريبيكا جيشوا أوكوشي نائبة رئيس لجنة المبيعات ورئيسة كتلة الحركة الشعبية بالبرلمان القومي أهمية دورة الرياضة وسط مجتمعات الشباب، مناشدة الشباب بدعم جهود تعزيز الوحدة والسلام بين المجتمعات. جاء ذلك خلال مخاطبتها افتتاح دورة كرة السلة باستاد ملكة اليوم الثلاثاء. من جانبه أكد حاكم ولاية على النيل جيمس أودوك أوياي أهمية الرياضة في توحيد المجتمعات، مناشدا الرياضيين بتعزيز روح الوحدة والسلام بين قبائل على النيل. إلى ذلك قالت وزيرة الشباب والرياضة بالولاية حفصة أجاك نياويلا أن الرياضة جسر للتواصل لوحدة قبائل الولاية، فيما أمن رئيس الاتحاد المحلي لكرة السلة بالولاية كيك نوت على المضي قدما نحو الأفضل في الأنشطة الرياضية.
الرياضة مهمة وداير أشجعكم إنه لازم تجوا وتمارسوا الرياضة، لأنه كويس للصحة بتاعكم وكويس للتفكير بتاعكم. العربي بيقول العقل السليم في الجسم السليم، ولو داير عقلك يكون نظيف، تكون شاطر في المدرسة وفي الشغل، انت مارس الرياضة لأن الجسم بتاعك يكون كمان قوي ونشيط.
لأنه وجود الرياضة في البلد ده من أنشطة بتاع السلام، وده من أنشطة بتاع الثقافة بتاع السلام. عشان كده أنا بشجع أنشطة الرياضية الموجودة في ولاية على النيل، لأنه هم بداخلنا في الوحدة بتاعنا كخمسة قبائل الموجود في على النيل.
Today the game was played. It was a good game. What we need from the company is the participation of the court. This team you are seeing here came to this level because of the hard work session.
نهاية النشرة قدمناها لكم من SSBC. ختاما تقبلوا تحياتي وتحيات فريق العمل. تحية لكم ودمتم في رعاية الله.
مشاهدين برنامج قوات دفاع الشعب جنوب السودان، رفقائي وزملائي في الكفاح وفي النضال، هذا زميلكم ملاك أيان أجوك بحييكم وبرحب بكم في بداية هذه الحلقة الجديدة من برنامج بتاعتكم الجيش في خدمة الشعب والوطن.
Fakir mada salam, ya rubi salam. Monin biga tamam, biga murta, motorona jil. Jalamnya, biyunu me, betalau.